Servus from the Pain Cave and welcome back to stage 4 of the 4x4 ZRacing series. Today we are racing in Yorkshire on Queen's Highway after party, 19.8 kilometers, 301 meters of elevation, the draft or aero power up, 5 laps of the Queen's Highway loop with rolling terrain and a brutal uphill finish on a Yorkshire KOM Reverse. This stage is perfect for punchers, and in smaller fields, breakaways also should have a good shot. My tactics for this stage were clear, ride smart, save energy and empty the tank on the final KOM. I'm lining up once again with a strong A-PEX VELO squad. Welcome to the team, to the new riders Matt and young gun Andre. Great to have you two on the team. And also welcome back to the team Arnaud. The previous #1 on Zwift Power is back at racing and we are happy he is doing so in our colors. But we have some strong opponents today in the likes of Magnus Nielsen, Jake Sittler and Cedric. Arnaud is the favorite on paper. Let's see how it all plays out. My biggest opponent of the day was the heat. Summer arrived in Vienna and my pain cave turned into an oven up to 29 degrees indoors and definitely not ideal conditions for an explosive race like this. But we will give it our best, and before we dive into the race action, let's look back. This route has already been part of ZRacing 2 times in the past 13 months. In April 2025, I was racing in the A-range category against some familiar mates and also a familiar cheater. And in September 2025, I missed the primetime slot due to the FRR tour and I joined some friends on an attempt to go for a fast GC time. As you can see, I failed, but it was a great battle against Luke and Gerben. And these two lads are part of today's race as well. Luke is a regular contender in these primetime slots, but it's great to see Gerben back racing with us on Monday afternoon. So back to the race, we just started lap 1 of 5 of the Queen's Highway loop, 2.98 kilometers, so almost 3 kilometers with 30 meters of elevation. And yeah, it starts with a downhill and then has that like long drag to the banner on top where we will receive the power up, and we will have 5 power ups in total for today's stage. And it's gonna be about smart racing. You can see I'm trying to slingshot through the field here, trying to use the momentum coming out of the downhill to try to save some energy. And then throughout that like false flat section to the top, I try to fade a bit, drift behind in the field to just save a bit of energy. It's always dangerous, but once again, like I'm not among the favorites and I just need to play it smart, risk it a bit, and yeah, hopefully have like fresh legs for the final. So first loop, 3 minutes 49 seconds with an average of 259 watts and an average of 161 beats per minute. But I felt like my heart rate, like the display was kind of not really right at moments. You can also see me kind of adjusting it. I'm not sure, like my max heart rate at the end seemed alright, but I never really reached it here on the screen of Zwift. So yeah, not really sure if that's accurate for the day. Also here, I think, yeah, now you can see I'm adjusting it. It feels like it's kind of stuck and then it goes up. Was a bit weird. I don't know what was wrong there. Anyway, we are here in the second lap and we are reaching the gradient once again here. That long drag to the sprint banner. I'm having the draft power up and I always wanted to use that like before that steep final section to just kind of get a better position again. I think it's just important to use that draft power up in that uphill section or once you struggle in the field. And yeah, we are doing good so far. I definitely felt the heat here. I was struggling to hold the pace. We are at an average of 4.4 watts per kilo at this moment. And second lap was actually the fastest one of the day with 3 minutes 44 seconds at an average speed of power of 278 watts. Yeah, we're doing fine so far. The field is still big. You can see almost 70 riders are still here at the front. Andre is also here, Andre Jones, our new addition to the team, a young gun. And yeah, happy he is part of the team. He's also watching the videos here, so shout out to you, Andre, and yeah, keep up the good work. All right, so third lap here. We are almost halfway through these loops, and once again I'm trying to get out of the saddle here, push it a bit at the beginning, then settle down and push it in seated position here, trying to increase the RPM and cadence to just keep my legs fresh. And then for that final 5% uphill drag here to the sprint banner, I'm getting out of the saddle again and try to grind on the pedals here. But we still try to not do anything stupid. You see there's every now and then some attacks at the front, but I won't worry too much about it. The peloton is just so big, so it's gonna be hard to break away. You see here, third fastest lap of the race here in lap number 3, and we are now in lap number 4. I moved to the front here. There's always some attacks also in the downhill. That was a bit tricky and dangerous if you're too far behind. But yeah, again, like the field was pretty big and the route is just too easy, so it was not really possible to break away. Also right now you see a guy is attacking off the front, but it's just hard to really make create a gap here for a lone rider at the front. So 5.7 kilometers to go. We are almost done here with the 4th lap. I used the draft power up a bit earlier this time. I was struggling in that lap, but I could still manage to hold on to the front here, pushing 6 watts per kilo on that final bit before the sprint banner. 3 minutes 49, exactly as we did the first lap, and an average of 262 watts. And this is the final lap now, 5 kilometers to go, and now it's gonna be about good positioning. I'm a bit far behind here at this moment, so I'm getting out of the saddle here, pushing 6 watts per kilo, because I can see the peloton is already strung out here at this point, and I'm kinda scared that this will kinda be fast to the finish line, because I expected the last lap to be really fast, because the strongest riders wanna kind of push the pace and make the sprinters tired. But then they again like settle down, and it's not too fast here. I'm pushing more than 5 watts per kilo, but it felt alright. And again, like I expected higher pace. Luke is also here right on my wheel, and we are in a good position at this moment, and we're just waiting for that final push. And I decided to hold on to my power up and use it just before the banner, so I might have like some advantage positioning for the final KOM climb. And this so far works good. There is some attacks at the front, but I'm not worried at all. Everything looks good. Like it will be important to get to the front again before the climb. And you can see 3 minutes 50 seconds, an average of 277 watts. It was actually the slowest of the laps, but still I was pushing harder, so not really efficient from my side. All right, Yorkshire KOM Reverse 1.2 kilometers starts right here, and I'm entering it in a good position, probably even too far in front. I should have used the momentum a bit better here coming out of the downhill. Remco is right next to me, David is right next to me, and also Arnaud is there, so big names, Jake Sittler, all are there here with 800 meters to go. I'm starting to suffer here. Heart rate is definitely higher than what it shows here on screen. And I was just absolutely cooking here in my pain cave. And I'm trying to get out of the saddle here, trying to stay here with the front, pushing 7 watts per kilo at this moment. And but I just started to fade. I couldn't really get the punch in my legs, so I was just struggling really hard. 300 meters to go here. It was a PB for me for the Yorkshire KOM Reverse, but still, like, I couldn't really get to the front here. I was struggling really hard. You can see it's a close fight here, but I cannot really increase the pace using my aero boost at this moment. Not sure if that was the right moment to do, but I had nothing left in my legs. It was a really long sprint here, and it was just so painful. Zach is coming here, and he overtakes me right on the line. Close finish, P20 for me, and Arnaud is taking the victory, so chapeau to him. Remco once again with a great finish, which earned him 13th. Also Michael, Marty, John, and all the other APV riders with a strong effort. Let's look back at the 4x4 series. I was pretty consistent throughout all the stages, finishing in 25th, 31st, 28th, and 20th. No real highlights, but solid performances on routes that were not great for me. And this earned me 7th in the GC. I know it was not as stacked as Zwift games, but I'm still happy with that. And huge ride as well from the whole A-PEX VELO squad. 9 riders inside the top 29 overall is honestly incredible. And last but not least, big congrats to Magnus Nielsen, who is adding another ZRacing GC win to his palmarès. The main struggle today was definitely the heat inside my pain cave, and I was also a bit tired from an intense 4 hours outside ride the day before, but it's also cool to see that I got a top 10 on the Queen's Highway After Party Strava segment. So long story short, hot day in the pain cave, solid performance and power numbers, gotta be happy with that. Alright, that was stage 4 of the 4x4 series. This series comes to an end, and the next one is starting next week, Level Up. However, most likely I will skip the first 2 stages. I will fully focus on an outdoor race, which will happen next week. And to be honest, I don't really like the choices of routes here. We have Queen's Highway After Party once again. The only route that I'm really excited for is stage 3 with the hilly route Reverse. I'll definitely be back for the ZRacing action, but since the routes are not too appealing to me and it's getting too hot here in Austria and I have no AC, I might skip some races in the next few weeks. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. It really supports the channel. And let me know how stage 4 went for you and what you think about the Level Up series. See you in the next one. Cheers and ride on.
Remember to subscribe.